Welcome to Figs Talks Fights. I'm Brian Figueredo. Tomorrow night we got a UFC Fight Night heavyweight main event taking place at the UFC Apex in Las Vegas, Nevada, with your main event being Derrick the Black Beast Lewis versus Curtis Razor Blades. Plus, we're still in the goddamn COVID era, so of course a bunch of fighters have to miss weight and miss it by a fucking huge mile. Let's get into it and let's do this one quick, all right? Derrick Lewis coming off a 3-fight winning streak, hasn't lost a fight since I believe he lost to Junior Dos Santos going back a few years. Since then, he's taken on Blagoy Ivanov, Ilir Latifi, and Alexei Olenek. And then you have Curtis Razor Blades coming in on a 4-fight winning streak. Normally a 4-fight winning streak in the heavyweight division means a title shot, but apparently he wrestles too goddamn much. But anyhow, his winning streak coming off his last loss to Francis Ngannou, and his only loss in the UFC, not that fight, but he's only lost to Francis Ngannou twice. Okay, he made his UFC debut against him. But anyhow, moving on to the point, coming off a winning streak, I believe, against Justin Willis, Shamil, his name, I'm going to butcher it, Abdul Kamalov, forgive me, Junior Dos Santos, actually KO'd Junior Dos Santos, apparently pissed off Dana White, beating the brakes off of Alexander Volkov for 4.5 rounds, getting a little gassed in the fifth round. But I mean, I don't know, you wrestle for about 22.5 minutes. It's going to burn you out. So how do these guys stack up against each other? Look, it's quite simple. Derrick Lewis, okay, he's a fighter more than he's a martial artist. And I don't mean this in any disrespectful way. I don't even think he'd take it in a disrespectful way. He's got heavy hands, heavy kicks. He's a very strong and explosive guy. If you look at his physique, he is way more athletic and explosive than you actually would figure, all right? His ground game, I mean, very suspect. He doesn't have the greatest ground game in the world. This guy ain't going to be shrimping, transitioning from an omoplata back to a triangle to set up an armbar. You probably will never see that in your lifetime, but it's MMA. Is it going to happen tomorrow night? Probably freaking not. But this guy is explosive as hell and strong. You want to talk about a guy who anytime he's been on his back can just shrimp a little, boom, bridge, explode out of a half guard, literally just shove his opponent off of him and get back to his feet. His fight last year with Ilir Latifi, look, 50-50. You can make an argument that Ilir Latifi won that fight as he did have more control time out of that fight than Derrick Lewis was laying bombs on him. But I mean, as far as damage is concerned, a Black Beast, man, one shot from this guy, you're out. That's it. Curtis Razor Blades, look, his boxing ain't bad. It ain't bad at all. Did you see the fight with Junior Dos Santos? I think that took place like right around this time, mid-February of last year, 2020, before, COVID took over the damn world. But anyhow, look, Curtis Blades, good boxing, decent kickboxing, but he's a tremendous wrestler. A lot of people were shitting on him because earlier this week he said, what the hell, I'm going to go in and I'm going to wrestle this guy. Of course I'm going to wrestle him. Why would I stand and bang with him? That's stupid. He gets paid $100,000 to show, $100,000 to win. Him to just entertain fans that aren't even allowed in attendance anyways, to just stand there and trade punches with Derrick Lewis, stupid idea. Look, terrible to admit, but I do read the comment sections of MMA websites every once in a while. And everyone's shitting on him. What do you want the guy to say? I don't understand MMA fans. Sorry, video cut out there, but anyhow, back to it. Look, sometimes you got MMA fans that, look, they're going to just shit on a fighter because they took the safest route, or I would say the smartest route to winning a fight. You're locked in a damn cage with another highly skilled, elite trained athlete. Yes, take the most successful path to victory. But on the same token, you have fans going like, hey, I would love to see fighter A versus fighter B, but I mean, fighter A would sell more and make more money for the UFC if he fights fighter C. So I think I'd rather watch this fight. What? It boggles my mind. You can have empathy for a company that's worth billions of dollars and say, you know what? Let's do that fight. It'll sell more pay-per-views. Are you in the war room with Dana White and company? Come on, man. And then at the same exact time, fighters explaining very legitimately on why they need to take the route to win the fight and get out of there unscathed and with a paycheck to support their damn family. F that guy. I don't get it, but hey, as long as you're watching MMA and loving it and supporting it, you do you. That's it, move on. So, we had a bunch of fighters missed weight today. Rafael Alves, okay? Featherweight. Weighs in at 157 pounds. 157 pounds, he missed the featherweight limit and then misses the lightweight limit, okay? This is a very light welterweight we're talking about. Apparently, he said in a statement that he fell. I don't know if that's something he's literally speaking about or figuratively speaking about. Stay on to that, okay? But I think Caitlin Vieira weighed in at 138. She's in the co-main event for this fight card as well. Who the hell else? I think Draco Rodriguez, if I'm getting that right, missed weight at about 140, I think 140 and a half he weighed in at for the bantamweight limit of 136. So something's in the air in Vegas. I don't know if they're not flying these guys out quick enough, because once again, we're in the freaking COVID era, so maybe these guys didn't have enough time to cut weight, these guys and this girl. But I mean, look, this is some new records. I mean, Anthony Rumble Johnson, I think he weighed in for his middleweight debut, weighed in at 197 against Vitor Belfort, going back UFC 142, January of 2012, okay? And Rumble Johnson used to make weight at 170, kind of. 174, 176. But I mean, that was a shock then. I think this is surpassing it. So this guy's off by 2 weight classes. That fight's canceled. Sucks to see. I hope if there is a legitimate problem and they can get to the bottom of this. I mean, weight cutting, I can't stand it. I think it's a black eye on the sport. I mean, guys are missing weight all the time. It's not actually dieting and making weight. It's the weight cutting aspect, all right? And just, I mean, you probably know this already, so I don't mean to patronize you, but I mean, let's just say you weigh 190 pounds. You're not going to want to fight at 185 because most of these guys are monsters, get well over 200 and 210 pounds. Okay, for you to cut 5 pounds, it's not enough. So you'd have to diet down at least to 185 and suck, 15 to 20 pounds of water to make the 170 limit. Look, this is just getting ridiculous. Frank Shamrock was a middleweight champion way back in the day. I think he used to weigh in at the high 180s, low 190s, and the weight limit was 200. Then you had like Tito Ortiz cutting down to just 199 pounds back then. Can't believe Tito made 199 pounds back then. But anyhow, nonetheless, getting on to the point, I wish we could just get back to what range do you actually walk around and are healthy at? Why don't you fight within this range? It's too much of size discrepancies and somebody trying to be the bigger guy. Plus, if you've wrestled or grappled before in your life, you'll know that's where it makes the biggest difference. Sometimes in the striking game, if you're 5 or 10 pounds lighter than your opponent, it's not a big of a deal because you can pick it up with speed. And speed will make a bigger difference, especially in a boxing arena. But we're talking about grappling or wrestling. Look, an extra 10 pounds of muscle makes a world of a difference for control and grappling and whatnot. So hopefully we can figure this out. But anyhow, sorry for the mishap in the middle of the video there. But if you did like what the hell I had to say, subscribe to the channel. Give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Sincerely, I don't give a shit. But you have yourself an awesome day. Enjoy the fights tomorrow night. Until next time.